connect to the office. That'd be a start. I'm ready.
Call to order this meeting in the Nettle Creek School Board. Show all members present with the exception of Mr. Sankey and Mrs. Houghton. Are we in compliance with the open meeting law?
Yes.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Right, first, we have approval and or correction of the executive session minutes from May 11th, regular board meeting minutes from May 13th, and the special meeting minutes from May 27th. Have a motion?
So moved.
Mike?
Second.
That was
Julie.
Julie, right?
Mhm.
Any corrections? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Next, we'll move to public comment. One, we will move to financial items presented for board consideration and action. First, we have consideration and approval of claims and payroll, with payroll totaling $1,020,700. Let me start over. $1,020,725.72. Claims totaling $529,140.24. HES ECA totaling $848.34. And junior senior high ECA totaling $61,400.29. Do I have a motion? Andy? Mike? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Next, we have review of monthly financial statements. Mrs. Schaefer.
First is the financial snapshot. So we're getting close, not quite there yet. This is through obviously May 31, getting close to that 6-month halfway mark. And so it's just a good judgment check. You can see year-to-date revenue and expenses for each of the funds and monthly expenses for May for each of the funds. Just always want to remind that we get our tax draw for operations in June. So that is normal for that number to dip into the negative, and then it will come back into the positive because we get our tax draws twice a year. So not to be alarmed yet by operations balance. Monthly cash flow for education. Monthly cash flow for operations. Debt. Rainy day, which is always exciting. Appreciate that though. Preschool. And our lunch fund. Our investment report, we had one CD mature and we reinvested most of it. We did pull some of it out and put back into our checking, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. But other than that, we renewed that 18-month CD. And our grant reimbursement totals. We are spending some time now that we have some time to focus and not be interrupted by many other things to really improve our grant process and procedures for tracking expenditures, reimbursements for the grants, and cleaning that up a little bit. One would think it would be very simple, but the portal that the IDOE uses is new and not super user friendly. And then it's just getting everything to jive from our system and our processes to making sure that we have it correctly. And also each grant is a little bit different. And so it makes it challenging. And that's something that Amber and I have been working on for over a year, but to really focus in on that during the school year while a lot of other things are going on is challenging. And so that's something that we've spent some time on this week and are hoping to just really clean up our system and procedures for that so that it is more accurate and clear moving forward. We're excited about it. That's all I have for financial reports.
Any questions? Not, we'll move to school news.
All right, short tonight. I have updates from the junior, senior high school. Ross Rexing ended up being their final award winner for staff member of the month. One of the nominations was Mr. Rexing is a good teacher and he takes time to make sure everyone understands the work he is teaching. He's very patient and is always kind. He always makes every class enjoyable and fun. He's positive and outgoing for everyone that he teaches. Callan Ledgerwood is preparing for the National Civics B state competition that will be held at the Indiana War Memorial and Museum on June 23rd. Mrs. Beth Overfield and students put on an unsung hero art show at the Hagerstown Museum. It was great to see the community turnout and the support for our students. Lots of great artwork, I might add. In athletics at the junior, senior high school, man, we have been busy since school has been out, which is a good thing. Tiger baseball won sectionals after a strong season. They fell in the regionals, but with the graduation of one senior, we have really high expectations for this group going forward. We can't wait to continue watch them in future seasons. The girls track team had some qualifiers for regional. The 4x800 team of Avery Blunk, Macy Favorite, Sophia Garvin, and Emsley Holcomb qualified for regionals. Mackenzie Wagner qualified in the disc, and Zaylee Payne qualified in long jump and high jump. Our boys golf team placed fourth in a strong sectional field, and junior Noah Searcy qualified for regionals that will take place tomorrow in Providence. We wish Noah the best of luck. And Sophia Tinkle won the singles sectional and made it to the championship match of the regionals. We look forward to seeing all of her successes over the next few years. Like I said, exciting, busy, but man, it's really fun to see our students out there with their abilities and all of their talents being successful outside of the classroom as well. From the district, we had graduation last Sunday. It's probably one of my it is one of my favorite days of the year. It's really exciting to reflect on their journey to get to that point, all of the hard work, not only from the student, but from the teachers and staff and the administrators and community who pour into these students. It's also really fun to see so many kids graduation weekend who are now Hagerstown alumni come back and catch up on what they are doing now. That's probably my favorite, is to just connect with our Hagerstown graduates, past graduates, and hear what they're doing now in life and continued successes that they have. Just a reminder, our Cafeteria, our lunch service is providing summer meals free, 5 breakfast and 5 lunch pickup once a week. Our community can register for that online, or they can call the admin office and we can help get people set up with that. Just a great opportunity to make sure our kids continue to have not only food, but nutritious food over the summer while school is out as well. We had our end of year banquet in May, which is for staff and employees of Nettle Creek Schools. It's also, again, one of my favorite nights because we get to celebrate and focus on all of the people who, make this place so great and do really high quality work through the school year. One of my favorites is the increments of years of service at Nettle Creek Schools, recognizing employees who have been dedicated to Nettle Creek Schools for 5 years all the way up to 30 and 35 years. Those are pretty special because when you have somebody who is an employee for that long and has been dedicated to your organization, it really speaks volumes about their belief, their work ethic, and the job that they are doing. So always a fun time to celebrate. A little bit different because mostly we focus on students, but it's fun to celebrate our great staff too. Now the admin office is spending a lot of time. Most people think school's out, you probably don't have much to do, and it's quite the opposite. I think we've been just as busy, maybe if not busier, in the admin office the first few weeks of summer break. It's time for us, like I said, to really some of those things that you don't have enough time to focus on during the school year when students and teachers are here. This is a time that allows us to focus on that, reevaluate some of our processes and procedures. How can we continue to make our organization better and grow? Strategic planning using data. It's an opportunity for me to spend some time reflecting on what are the goals of Nettle Creek Schools and how am I going to create a year-long plan to support all of my leaders to help reach that goal during the school year. Also time for a little bit of hiring. We see some movement. So we have a few already that we'll get to on the personnel report, but hopefully we don't have too many. And then just overall catching up on some of the operations and maintenance things that it's more challenging to address those during the school year when you have people in your buildings and they're being used. Now it gives us a little bit more time to do some of those deeper cleaning, floor maintenance type projects so that we continue to maintain high quality facilities as well. And that's all I have from the district.
Thank you, Ms. Schaefer. We'll move to board member reports, concerns, and requests for information. We'll start with Mrs. Bloss.
Nothing, thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Lamar. Mrs. Schwab.
Just to thank again the entire teams that put together graduation, the celebration dinner, just all those different events that happen at the year end, because I just thought they went off extremely well. And I was very proud of, especially graduation, just very proud of the students and how they conducted themselves, and as well as the parents and families. And so it was just really just a great event. And I just really appreciate all the effort that you and your team put into that.
Very well done.
Oh, and I would be remiss. The north lobby looks amazing. Thank you, Tiger Boosters, because that looks really cool and so exciting. So
thank you, Tiger Boosters, for not only having a vision, but also for all of the work that they do financially to support our student athletes and those spaces. Man, we could not do it without them. They're phenomenal about connecting community members and gathering donations so that again, we can have great opportunities for our student athletes. And I think that the facility is something new that they've tackled, and just appreciate not only that work of the Tiger Boosters, but also all of the communities and organizations that donate to that cause as well. Students, it makes them feel proud when they have facilities like that. And so it's exciting.
the alumni is pretty proud too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, thank you.
Mr. Bannon?
I really enjoyed graduation this year. I thought it went off great. I enjoyed the speeches from students and staff. I thought everybody did great there. I enjoyed the choir having to go a cappella. That was a little technical snafu, but they did great.
Thanks for mentioning that.
Yes. That too, but
Yeah, I thought it was just a great day. I thought it went.
yeah,
Couldn't have gone better.
I was also.
I was a little nervous about the ramps, but everything went good.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it from me.
Echo a lot of that, and I'll also just add, I mean, mention communities as the community as well, in the sense of Tiger Boosters and all the volunteering and everything. What struck me here recently was the baseball regional and the crowd we had there, and it's always a good reminder going to one of those things that, what was it, an hour and 20-minute drive from here, and we have probably 4 times the crowd that the other team had. I mean, it just easily demonstrates that the school is not just the school, it is the entire community. And, you know, however many people were there that have no kids currently connected with the school whatsoever and are still there supporting athletics. It's just awesome. So.
It was a great day.
Yeah. And that's it from me. I show no old business. We'll move on to new. First item being personnel items presented for board consideration and action.
Yeah, so before I start, I just want to acknowledge the loss of one of our employees. Matt Gentry lost a very short but courageous battle with cancer. Matt was an amazing employee. He always kept to himself, but man, anything that you would ask Matt to do, he would do it. And he took a lot of pride and joy and dedication in his work at Nettle Creek Schools. He was a Nettle Creek School graduate. Matt was here when I first came to Nettle Creek Schools, new to the Nettle Creek School community and PE teacher at that time. So my office was down in the locker room, and Matt every morning he would be cleaning the locker rooms, and he welcomed me to Nettle Creek Schools. And from that day, it didn't matter what role I transitioned to, Matt was always one of my go-to guys. Even when I left the senior high school and my home became the district office, I still knew that if I needed something done, I could reach out to Matt or find Matt, and he asked no questions and would have it done. We greatly missed him at graduation because, man, for 2 weeks, Matt would be in there making sure that the skirt around the stage was absolutely perfect, making sure that the covering for the basketball goal was absolutely perfect, better than, no offense, ladies, any woman would ever take the attention to detail of that role. You know, Jason had a lot of pressure of making sure that it was at least to the a little bit of the level that Matt would prepare for graduation, and Jason did phenomenal. But we just will greatly miss Matt and his presence here at Nettle Creek Schools. And so I just, before we do the personnel report, wanted to take a moment to acknowledge Matt, his dedication, and also remember him as a Hagerstown Tiger always. On the personnel report, we have a certified staff position. This is a ECA position, our English language learner teacher of record. Recommendation for Emily West. We have 2 resignations, 1 IT assistant and our previous English language learner teacher of record. And then we have a few summer ECAs that are ready to be approved. I would ask that you approve this personnel report as presented.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I think that was Ruthie. And both Sandy for second.
Yes, that's fine.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Move to other items for board consideration. First, we have recommendation and approval of the administrator contract renewals.
The administrator and district contract renewal recommendations were included in your board packet. I would ask that you approve the contract renewals as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Julie,
Second.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0.
I just want to clarify for the record and public, those are simply, either a renewal of 1 or 2 year contracts. That obviously is not a change in pay or anything that would happen in the fall when we do regular negotiations. That simply is just the length of their contract.
Thank you. We are going to hold off on second reading and approval of the board policies for tonight, pending some further discussion on a couple of them. We'll table that. Next, we have recommendation and approval of negative fund balance correction.
So we've talked about this a little bit, but haven't really taken action on it. We were hoping to do this at the last meeting, but we tabled it. Just to summarize, we have an insurance fund that is currently negative 130,000 and some change, and an old ESSER grant that is negative 40,428. The insurance clearing account became negative when we corrected a large negative net pay balance in 2023. Through the transition of personnel when the ESSER grant was open, funds were overspent. And that I go back to the cleaning up the process of for most grants, you spend those grant dollars and then you submit a reimbursement. And so making sure, even with personnel who are here doing the job all of the time, it's a very attention to detail job to make sure that all of your internal reports align and getting them in the right lines with the DOE reports. And then you add in a layer of changing of superintendents, changing of business managers, changing of central office. It creates an additional challenge to that. And you also, ESSER was COVID money, and that's when everything was chaos at that time. And so it just became very challenging. We currently had that CD that had nearly $1.8 million in it. That CD came up for renewal last week. And in the effort of tentatively correcting these negative numbers that have been commented on by the State Board of Accounts twice now, taking some of that money to offset the negative from that CD, so that we can clear that and move on. Amber, I don't know if you want to add anything, especially from the insurance one, on maybe a little bit more on how that and how we fix that moving forward. Already, we're just kind of dealing with the previous decisions.
So when I began in 2023, there was a very large multi-million-dollar negative net pay balance. And before I came, approximately a year before I came, they switched our system to a cloud-based system. And when that happened, the people, my predecessors, didn't need to continue doing some of their habits that they were used to doing. So a payroll voucher was being created on the payroll system and on the accounting system. So it was double counted, and that negative amount was accruing in the net pay fund. So when we fixed that problem, it did something with those vouchers that started accruing a negative insurance balance in the insurance fund. We've gotten that to stop. However, there's still a balance that has to be accounted for It was commented on in 2023 and in 2020, this year's audit. And we need to get it fixed sooner rather than later. We've been trying to spend education operation funds to offset those balances, but we're to the point where that is just extremely hard to plan to do. We don't have that type of room to be able to do that. So that's kind of the why, and we've been aware of it. We've been trying to fix it, and this is our opportunity to be able to wipe it out and move forward without using any direct operation or education funds.
So this first action is just the board saying, we approve of addressing the negative fund balances and correcting them. The second action, which is the next item, would be the actual transfer resolution that we would need to document with the State Board of Accounts and DLGF to take money from that CD, put it back to where it originally came from, and then pay off those negative funds. I would entertain any questions or clarification. If not, I would recommend you approve this first action to clear the negative fund or address the negative fund balances.
So this one is just a agenda item. There's no resolution associated with this.
Not C. The resolution associated with it is a second
transfer
in D.
resolution.
Yep.
Okay. So what, I just want to be clear for everyone. So what we're approving on this is to just address the situation. And then the next one is the how. Okay. Any other questions on this particular?
So
Or do we want
just on C, or they're related, go ahead and ask the question on D?
Wait till
We get to D.
to D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I don't have a question on C.
Okay.
That makes sense.
nor do I. Anything else? Not, I would take a motion to move forward with the recommendation and approval of the negative fund balance correction.
So moved.
Andy,
Okay.
any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Okay, next we have a recommendation and approval. Yes, recommendation and approval of the June 30, 2026 transfer resolution.
So this is the recommendation that is the budgetary action to approve using funds from the CD to zero out negative fund balances. The CD funds will need to be moved back to the rainy day where they originated from. And from what Amber and I have found, can you remember the year? Was it 2016?
For when the CD was
Yeah.
originated? Yes.
Yeah. So
It's very hard finding where that originated. So we know that it goes back to at least that.
we knew that the funds were once in rainy day, and then moved to a CD, but where the funds came from before they were moved in rainy day, and specifically, cash balances, obviously, but how much was in operations, how much was in education, that has been a little bit more challenging. And so still working out some of those fine details, but really this that doesn't necessarily impact the transfer resolution. We just need to get those funds moved back to rainy day where they originated from. And then we can use those once we have approved the resolution to then zero out those negative balances. The resolution had approximate numbers. Those numbers are higher than what we anticipate that we will need to pay. So we would update at the July meeting the amounts after the transfer occurs to reflect the actual transfer totals. Again, I would entertain questions, clarification, and then ask that you approve this resolution as presented.
No, I'd take your question, Sandy.
I don't know that I have one now, actually, that now that we've thought about that, but okay, just to make sure I understand this. So we've renegotiated a CD, but we pulled out a portion of it.
Mhm.
So when we renegotiated that, did all of that flow through rainy day and then back into the new CD, or only the portion that we've removed? I guess I'm just trying to figure out what am I approving? I mean, I know why.
Without getting into the weeds, that CD stands alone. at
Okay.
this time.
So it's all by
Its
itself.
own account, own everything. It is completely separate from from our operating education.
So we just pulled out sufficient interest to get these balances zeroed out. So that's all we're doing. Okay, and that's what I thought I understood, but then the way I was reading, I'm like, okay, now this doesn't make any sense. That answers my question. Does that answer yours, Sean?
I'm
Because I know
not, I'm
you
not
had
sure
one
it
too.
does, so. Do you want to pull this, this back up? Okay, so we're talking about the 18-month CD there.
Yeah, with the current balance of 1 point, I think that's a 7.9.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. So that's figuring into our cash balance somewhere, or cash balance, right? But isn't that, so that cash balance is fully accounted for in our budget? I mean, that's,
Factors into our cash balance, but it is not factored into our. And that's something Brian, Emily, and I have been discussing.
okay, so it's potentially money, like, let's say it's not in our, it shouldn't be on a balance somewhere in either education or operations fund. It's,
Okay, so that's a great question. This is what I talked with Amber about earlier. So it is reflected that our CD, that 18-month CD, if you compare the current balance of 1.7, that's less than if you go back to April's investment report, it's gonna be inflated. The hanging out there a little bit in the world of land, if you go back to any of our like cash flow statements, that technically hit the bank in June. And we prepare cash flow statements by May 31st. So you will see that cash reflected somewhere for a period of time on the June report.
Have to, because that entire CD goes into our checking. And then what gets put into the new CD gets taken back out. So it will be entered into our system and accounted for somewhere. We're working with Brian Harmon to decide where that is.
okay,
So when it goes back into rainy day, let's say, then July's financial report, rainy day won't be boring because it will have revenue deposited in there. But that's not going to reflect, even though it's reflected on the CD, based on how we pull the reports. I pull bank statements to prepare the interest investment report. I pull CompuTrol as of May 31, and all of that happened after May 31 to prepare cash flow.
So it's not part of education, it's not part of operations, and it's not part of rainy day.
It's going to become part of rainy
So
day.
going forward, that CD in its entirety will be included in the rainy day balances. Even though it's passing through sort of right now, it'll still be there.
People remember our funds prior to how they're set up now. At the time of
Barely, that
the
was,
origination in 2016, we still had
yeah, that was before you.
the general fund.
I barely got pieces of it, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's where it's messy because we don't have a general fund anymore.
so we're cleaning this all up, not only taking care of our zero balance, getting rid of those negative balances, but we're also cleaning up how we're tagging things. Is that correct, or am I misunderstanding?
I think, so
I'm kind of with you. I think the question is, so we've got these CDs, and as of right now, they're not being considered so if we look at this as, say, a buffer of some sort, like it's an emergency fund, but it's not part of rainy day, it's not showing up in that number. So it's really like rainy day, rainy day. I mean, is that how?
There you go.
So, and Amber, correct me if I get off track here. If you go up to the first account, that's checking
Right.
corporate, that is housing
Our budget.
our education and operations money, okay? Then we have separated ECA funds into their own.
Right?
And then we have our GO bond funds, and then you come down here and have all of your CDs listed, and then you total it here, and this is all together is that 3.3 million. So right now, we took this out. It will eventually show up in that first checking corporate in the June report, correct?
200, whatever we're saving will.
Yes.
But the bulk of it that's being reinvested is just gonna pass through. So it really won't show up on this report because it's passing through, because it's right there. It's back into a new CD. I
Yes.
got that part.
Yeah. Did that answer your question or create more?
I think the rainy day part two probably explains it in my brain the best, that it's still part of, it's really part of rainy day.
It just doesn't show up in that 900,000 number.
Right. It's just that something we've invested, but
At
it's,
some point, it's time to just remove the budget,
you're right.
and it's not something we can just. Out.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think when we look at our rainy day, this one, it's a cash flow.
Right.
And we don't anticipate cash flowing with those dollars that we have tied up in a CD, which is probably why, it's not included necessarily in this piece.
I think because it's financials, I'm looking for labels. Like, okay, I want to understand what does this, what's it?
Your faces are.
What bucket does this go in?
Your faces are exactly what Brian's were.
I'm sure.
We were digging into this because he's been very involved and he made the connection also like, oh. And so Emily and I have been working to try to figure out where it originated, why it's there. However, the paper trail just isn't that strong.
So it sounds like there's more to come. There's more exploration
explanation.
pending on this one, so we can understand or label it in a way that.
Yeah, so,
In
but
perpetuity.
for now, let's
For
go.
today,
Yeah,
got it.
for this transfer resolution though, it's basically, we're cashing in the CD as it were. We're pulling off the amount that we're approving within this transfer resolution to pay off the balances in the
Esther,
education. Okay,
yeah, sorry.
go ahead. Okay. The remaining balance out of that CD that's left over after pulling that money out is going back into a CD. Renewing a new CD at this moment? Okay, and,
1.7.
okay, okay. And then at a future point in time, once we get things more figured out, we will decide how to put labels on them as you.
One more question, because you said you held out more than what you believe you're gonna need. What happens to that difference? Where's it gonna go? Does it stay in the checking, in the budget?
Stay in rainy day.
Or it moves over to rainy day? Okay, that's what I thought. I'm just trying
That's
to,
okay.
I like that.
It's strange.
Okay.
Unique.
Didn't mean to make that hard, but just.
No, good
No.
question.
Understand it.
Yeah, it's,
That's how, I hate to say that's how it was when we got here, but it's how it was. And we haven't had any reason need for it until now. And so now we're digging into it.
Part of the process. Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion on that? If not, I'll take a motion to accept the transfer resolution as presented.
So moved.
Sandy,
second.
who was that?
Julie.
I assume there's no further discussion. We'll move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? 5-0. Thank you. Next, we have recommendation and approval of the 2026-2027 Hagerstown Junior Senior High School Student Handbook.
The Hagerstown Junior Senior High School 26-27 recommended handbook was included in your board packet. The updates from previous years were highlighted in red for you. I would ask that you approve the junior senior high school handbook as presented.
Do I have a motion? Sandy? Mike? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Similarly, we have recommendation and approval of the 2026-27 Hagerstown Elementary School handbook.
The Hagerstown Elementary School 26-27 handbook was included in your board packet. I would just like to note, last year, I believe at this time, it was asked that we try to streamline the junior, senior high school and the elementary handbook from a format standpoint so that they mirror each other a little bit better. Mrs. Erin Morgan, our assistant principal at the elementary school, has spent a lot of time in trying to streamline the elementary handbook to the junior senior high school. It takes a lot when you're talking about not just updating content, but now updating format and rearranging pages and pages and pages of information. And so I appreciate the work and the time she's invested to doing that, to hopefully make it a little bit better for our families and community members who look at that. I would also note there is a portion that was in the elementary handbook that is also in our board policy, and we decided it's around wireless devices, and it provides the definition. Did you pull it up, Mr. Lieberman?
School sanctioned wireless communication device.
The definition of school sanctioned wireless communication device was included in the elementary handbook. And we have determined that we do not need to duplicate that. Let's just leave it in board policy as recommended by our attorneys who provide our board guidance on board policies. And let's eliminate it from the handbook. And so with that one little note, I would ask that you approve the proposed HES handbook as presented.
Thank you. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mike?
Second.
Julie? Any further discussion?
I just wanted to thank Mrs. Morgan, because that just makes so much more sense to have the cohesiveness between the two handbooks. So thank you.
I agree, and also appreciate the amount of work that went into it. There's a lot there. So
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Item G, we have recommendation and approval of the memorandum of understanding between IU East and Nettle Creek Schools for the education pathway.
In the board packet, you found the MOU being recommended with IU East. The approval will allow for students at Nettle Creek Schools interested in becoming teachers to enroll in the education pathway. This partnership will provide 12 credit hours of education classes to qualified students. I would ask that you approve this agreement as presented. I will also add, sorry, Sean, this is not new. This is something that we have been reoccurring. I think we're probably in year 3 or 4 of it, and has been just another great opportunity for our students. So I appreciate IU East continuing to invest in that partnership, and the board considering the additional opportunities for our students.
Thank you for that. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Sandy, was that Ruthie? Second by Ruthie. Any discussion?
That's a question, and if you don't know the number, but how many students have we had?
I don't know for this past year. I would have to get that, but I believe the year before we had 4.
Okay.
We have quite a few. You know, do you know, Maria?
I think we have about 8 this
Wow.
year.
That's awesome.
It's exciting.
different classes that they take, so with the full range, but they've all enjoyed it, you know, and getting to come down here to the elementary too.
So they get to come do some field work with our elementary teachers and students. And so that's always really exciting. You see kids who are interested in education, they're your students. We get to provide them some opportunities here, but also giving them that opportunity to start getting ahead on their coursework for their teaching degree.
Do we know anything about outcomes yet? Like how many of former that have gone through this that went on to pursue?
I don't know those numbers.
That's okay. Like I said, you may not know. As I was thinking through this today, even
No,
further.
I will know those numbers, so, yes.
What's the outcome? I'm good.
All right, thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Move to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Concludes the agenda. Items of information. Our next meeting is July 29th. Of note, that is later in the month than usual with the intention of accommodating for any last minute hires before the school year. It's here in the LGI room at 6:30 and we're adjourned at 7:17.